Hello, I'm Brent Farris from the Bearded Man Studios, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can optimize this get component. So in Unity 5, you have to use get component instead of something like GameObject.RigidBody.Velocity. You have to say GameObject.getComponent.RigidBody.Velocity. And while that looks all fine and dandy, this is actually not optimal because this get component has to go through a lookup and do all this extra stuff rather than having a direct reference to it in order to update or change it. So imagine that the update happens some number of times per second, and you're doing this every single time, and you're going through this function to find a rigid body on this object. So there is a quick and easy way to optimize this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a private void awake. So I'm going to make an awake method for when it starts up. And I'm going to make a reference to a rigid body. I'm going to do a private private rigid body equals null. And let's do one for the collider too. So I'm going to do private collider equals null. And I think collider is taken. So what I actually like to do is say collider ref. And same thing with rigid body. I spell it the same way that Unity has it spelled internally, and then just put ref at the end. That just lets me know it's a reference to the rigid body. So inside of the awake, I could just go ahead and say rigid body ref is equal to, and then I can say get component the rigid body. And of course, I could do the same thing with the collider. So just duplicate that line, put collider ref, and get component collider. That way inside of the update, I'm working with direct references. I don't have to worry about what this spooky function does. Even if they optimize this function, I don't want to trust it. So now I have direct references, and I can update them directly. So I have rigid body ref velocity plus equals forward rather than using the whole get component. And the reason we do this is that we have the benefit of getting a reference to the objects that we'll be using in the awake right when we start off. And this only happens once. So this function is only going to be called one time rather than every single time we update. So now it's a lot more optimal. And that's a way that you can start working with within Unity 5 and getting rid of all of those get component calls within updates and things that constantly update. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks for watching, and like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And until next time, I'll see you later.